Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Josh and Artemis Show. Today, we wanted to do a recap because we went to the Rebel News Live event in Toronto. We got to meet a lot of the reporters that work for Rebel News and, of course, David Menzies, the Menzoid.
He was flirting with you as well.
He said, why didn't he meet me in high school? So
I thought you cheeky sod, David.
That was pretty funny.
No, it's fine. He gets a free pass. He gets a free pass.
Yeah. And we met April Hutchinson, we met Billboard Chris, and many other people that were just at the event just to support and to have an opinion and to voice their thoughts at the conference. So that was really cool. And then I think we've got also just a couple of clips from all these protests that have been going on. It's just been ridiculous at these universities.
Chaos, especially in Toronto. We've got a clip. We posted it a couple of days ago now. It's got some good traction on X. We haven't posted on X for a while, so it's good to see the algorithm. The algorithm, you know what I mean? Those
algorithm. It hasn't totally forgotten.
It hasn't
us.
totally. We still get some traction, so that's good. But thanks so much, guys, for tuning in today. We are a bit rusty. It's a while since we've done a show, so appreciate your patience. So let's share our screen, and we'll just do a little recap of what we went to see yesterday in Toronto. So this was the Rebel News Live event. It was a 2-day event, so it was Friday and Saturday. On the Friday event, they had Donald Trump Jr. there.
I know.
Which we would go. You know, we did really want to go on Friday as well, but unfortunately, I had to work. So
I know. So I did too, but I was like, damn it, why couldn't we just get the day off?
Yeah, but
that would have been really cool to meet Donald Trump Jr. for sure. But
it was a great day. So let's bring the screen up. So we'll go through who was actually speaking when we were there. So this was the Saturday one, which is on the right hand side.
Okay,
so let's go to the top. So we had Dr. James Lindsay. He was kind of headlining the event, and then we had Billboard Chris, of course, who's been on the show. Got to have a brief chat with Chris as well. Tamara Litch, Isabel Brown. Who else we got? Bruce Pardy, Salman Simmer, and April, of course, and Robbie Pickard,
and Amanda
Ackman. She was the one who was talking about MAID.
Yeah.
Which is the what does MAID stand for again?
I actually don't really know what it's. I know what it is though. It's the
suicide program.
Assisted suicide program, but I actually don't know what MAID stands for. That's a good question.
Medically assisted.
Oh, medically assisted.
Something dying, right?
Assistance in dying?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Anyway,
we're probably wrong,
it's
guys.
The euthanasia program.
If anybody knows.
Good to see a couple of people in the chat. Kepsa.
We got Kepsa.
Can't be a Zionist and a rebel.
We got April in the chat. Good to see you.
Good to see you, April. And it was nice to meet you. I think we only had a brief chat because she was busy, but it was nice to meet April. And it is crazy because we talked to people on screen like April and Billboard Chris, who was on the show, and David as well.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to see these guys in person.
I know.
It's crazy.
I know. I was so nervous, even though I'm like, God, I talk to April all the time, but I'm
you were shitting your pants before the show. You were so nervous.
I was just to go up to her. Well, she's a big deal, guys. If you don't know who she is, you better go check her out. But it's just really cool to meet people who you do interact with, you have things in common with, who's inspired you. So it's really cool. Yeah. And I mean, April's just lovely inside and out, just as lovely as you see her on camera. She is in person, if not better. It was really cool. And I got to see, we got to see all of her medals and stuff. She brought it. She had a merch table and had all of her medals there. It was so cool. Just to see those, all of her achievements really. And I really liked even just when we weren't talking to her, but we were kind of looking from afar and I could just see all the people going to her table. It just looked really nice to see, I don't know how much support she's getting. And, obviously what she talks about is, fairness and equality in women's sports and keeping them female. So So it's really nice to see in person all of that support. We see it on X and stuff, but I don't know. Obviously, in person is just such a nicer feeling. So for sure, it was really nice to, I don't know, just to get to witness that and everybody else be all inspired and happy to be there. And no trolls.
No trolls. I mean,
no trolls.
We were thinking, oh God, I hope there's none of these Palestinian protesters there. But that was my fear, because obviously, guys, as you know, these protests are going on all over the place. We'll bring you some clips later on in the show. But
and the CEO of Rebel News, Ezra Levant, is Jewish.
Yeah.
So who knows what could have went on, but nothing was like that.
No.
And
I thought it was good, because that's the kind of first event like this which we've ever been to, and so it was good to kind of be amongst like-minded people, face to face and in person, because obviously we do talk to some people online, we talk to people on YouTube, but it's always better when you're in person. You can, put a face to
the name,
to the name at times, and it was good. I mean, and I think all the speakers made some great points. I think it was Bruce Pardy made a great point at the start of the show, where he said that culture influences politics and stuff, and he was saying, and I think it was Isabella Brown, I think she's called. She was kind of she was kind of talking about the same stuff as well, and I think what those two said in particular really stood out with what's kind of going on in the world. How it hasn't happened overnight, but you can see this massive change in our culture in the West over the last 10 to 20 years, really. And now you're kind of seeing that work being played out right in front of our eyes, where you've got, gender stuff all over the place. You've got, just blatant racism. There's Jewish professors being blocked by students from getting into university. You've got blatant racism all over the place, and no one can stop it. And it's all by design. I mean, we've said this a million times, but all the stuff we're kind of seeing being played out in our culture now is all by design. And I think what the people were saying at this event was completely spot on. But it's been, in order to change laws and politics, you have to first change the culture, because that's what it's influenced by. So I think, that point was really good. Great to hear April. I mean, we've heard April's story before on our show, but she expanded on a couple of points, and she expanded on, her story and her journey to get to where she is. And I think what's great about April is she's turned a negative into a massive,
positive.
Yeah. Because she went through a really tough time, of course. And then she was banned for 2 years for literally just stating a fact. And now she's completely transformed her life into this women's sports advocate. Standing up for female rights and kids. And I think it's great to see April's journey. And we were talking about April again last night. We talk about April a lot, guys, right?
Yeah. It's like flavor of the year.
but we were saying, in a few years, April Hutchinson, Riley Gaines, all of these kind of people will be seen as heroes to a lot of women and girls. So so we're doing a great job.
For sure. Even when it doesn't feel like that right now, it's like people, or women, or I guess girls growing into women, will look back on this and be really thankful that there was voices in, just putting themselves out there, supporting and advocating and, fighting to keep women's rights. Because, if no one was there to do that, then who knows how grim the future would be. But, we do see some progress online about these topics.
Oh, it's changed a lot.
It's not where we want to be, but it's definitely on the right path. And so, in life, it's not nothing is just a straight line. So there's going to be curves and bumps, and you'll see something and think oh, I don't know, is this us going backwards again? But, as long as we know what we want, out of it, which is just fairness and equality and, supporting, young girls going into sports, or even just having the right to privacy in the change rooms, in prisons, like all these safe spaces. One day the next generation will be thankful for sure for these people who are putting themselves out there every day.
It's definitely changing, though. I mean, not particularly here, but if you look in Europe and the UK, I mean, it was a couple of weeks ago now, the CAS report came out, which was it was the most extensive kind of study and research into all of this gender stuff. And they found that the puberty blockers shouldn't be given to kids, which is what we've been talking about for months.
Yeah.
Germany, I saw yesterday or the day before, they've completely banned puberty blockers for anyone who's under the age of 18. Again, just common sense. France have done the same thing. So there's a lot of countries, especially in Europe, where it is changing, which is great to see. And I think, we're in the last leg of really stopping this shit. It's getting close to being stopped, in my opinion, because there's so many countries now who are following the science and following the correct common sense approach, which is what we've always said. And it's great to see. And we've said this before, but anything that's built on lies, that this whole gender movement is, then it will eventually crumble, and it is beginning to crumble now. So it's great to see. Yeah.
Gorilla Gamer. Oh my
good
god.
To see you, Gorilla Gamer. It's been
long
a while.
time no see, Will.
It's been a while, GG, yeah.
I was not expecting that at all. That's good to see you. Hopefully everything's going well with you.
Yes.
Down in Florida.
Yes.
So,
Florida.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's share our screen, because in terms of this event for Rebel News, the Trudeau government actually tried to shut it down as well.
Yeah.
So if you go into the next tab, the next one after that.
Okay.
Yeah, so Trudeau's thugs tried to cancel the Rebel News conference. So this happened on Friday. So if we go down, we've got the man himself, Mr. Ezra Levant, explaining the situation. So we'll play you this clip, guys, and then we'll react to it, of course.
Good to see you, Lindsay, as well. All right, let's.
Ezra Levant here for Rebel News. I'm standing outside Rumble Live, which was a co-production between Rumble, the free speech live streaming platform, and Rebel. And we had a bunch of great speakers today, including Donald Trump Jr. Bit of a big name there, pretty exciting. Lots of free speech advocacy going on. But the event almost didn't happen. And I want to tell you about that because I have a rule of thumb, which is when people try and extort you, when they try and blackmail you, I think you have a moral obligation to pull the trigger on that and go public with it. And I have to say that we were blackmailed for today's event, not by some criminal, but by the government of Canada. See, the venue we're using, a beautiful venue, is run by a great guy who was happy to have us book both the Rumble event with Don Jr. and the Rebel News Live event on Saturday. And why not? We're good customers. We don't make a mess. Everything's fine. We've been doing these Rebel News Live events for 9 years. Never a problem. We like to have security just to make people feel safe, but we've literally never had a problem in 9 years. So we were proceeding with these events, but something happened, and I guess I should have been alive to it, because Downsview Park, which is the name of this location, it's an old military base. In fact, there's still an airstrip that the Prime Minister uses when he flies to Toronto. So the land underneath these event venues, underneath these sports venues, is still owned by the government of Canada, by a Crown corporation called Canada Lands Company. Now, it just holds a lot of land, but it's a regular landlord. It's not supposed to be political. It's not supposed to be partisan. It's just to manage the land. Everything was going great until the event venue received a threat from the property manager for Canada Lands Company, saying that they have to cancel the event unless they spend $49,000 on unnecessary security. Now, like I said before, we always do hire security. If you've ever been to a Rebel News event, you know that. But the demand from Canada...
I think the double standards here are crazy. Just thinking about this. that's the first time I've seen this, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen,
like, he talked about it at the event.
Yeah, he talked about it at the event. This was on Friday. He filmed this, and to me, the double standards are crazy. How they're trying to shut this event down, which was completely peaceful. Like, there was nothing going on in terms of trouble or drama. But yet, just a few miles down the road at Toronto University, you have literally racist thugs, right? Barricading themselves into a university and refusing to let people in. Who are part of a certain religion, right?
Yeah, just basically being gatekeepers.
That's completely allowed to happen according to Blackface Trudeau. But this event, which is completely peaceful and, you know, tells a completely different side of the story to what the media here are telling you, that event's not allowed to happen. To me, it's very telling. Do you not think?
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get back to it.
The Lands Company was so bizarre and outrageous to hire dozens of extra security, to hire off-duty Toronto police officers, literally paying cops to be here, even to buy barriers so that if hundreds of protesters come up, we pay for the barriers for them. And they even demanded that we buy 2 porta potties for the protesters. Now, our event owner was terrified of this. He said that if he didn't go along with this, he felt intimidated that they might rip up his lease. And although he's making money off of these events, it certainly couldn't match a lifetime's worth of business that he would lose if he got on the wrong side of the Canada Lands Company. This is the first time he has ever been threatened by them, of course. But it all came together because you know whose jurisdiction Downsview Park is? A crooked Liberal MP named Yara Sachs. Remember her? She's the one who actually went on TV. She stood up in Parliament and said, when truckers go honk honk, that actually means Heil Hitler. Take a look at this.
How much vitriol do we have to see of honk honk, which is an acronym for Hail Hitler?
Yeah, she's a total crackpot, but she's a local MP here.
Look.
Well, isn't it ironic of what's going on now?
I know.
Where's her voice now?
This is what I'm saying. Like, the double standards are just insane, right?
Like,
so she's tried. You know, this was during COVID, of course, and she was saying Hong Kong means Heil Hitler. Look what's going on now, right?
I know.
You've got literally, like, look,
people praising Hitler.
You've got people praising Hitler. We've got, you know, people being blocked going into universities and other places because they're Jewish.
Yeah.
You know,
Where's her outrage?
There's nothing else. You know, that's the only reason, because are Jewish people in Canada responsible for the war? No. So why are they being demonized? Why are they being blocked from going into certain places? It's just racism, full stop. So where's this woman now? Where is she?
I know.
Calling this stuff out?
She was so, like, distraught over HH, which just meant honk honk for the truckers, and saying how it was representing Hitler. But yet here we are, people praising Hitler, saying that they want they want to, like, eradicate all the Jews, all this stuff, not letting Jewish professors who were born and raised in Canada into the building
because they're wearing, like, a yarmulke and
yeah, like, all these things, and crickets. It's like, I'm sorry, where are you now? Like, what is that? Because these guys are going to be your voters.
Of course.
Like,
that's the only reason.
Where's the, like, I don't know, where's you supporting all the Jews now? Like, you're so concerned before, when it was literally the most peaceful protest I think I've ever seen, with bouncy castles, like food trucks, like, just like families going to these protests. Now, if you want to go to these protests, like, they look like a disgrace. They just look like homeless encampments, and they're occupying land that's not theirs.
I know. So like,
you can't make this stuff up, guys.
Just like, they just
really
can't see, like, they're basically doing what they're protesting against by occupying someone's land.
Yeah.
Like
universities' land. And you'll see this not only in Canada, but in the States. I think we've seen it in the UK, Australia. Like,
Amsterdam.
Actually, Amsterdam. That footage was insane.
Like, there's loads of places.
It's laughable.
And I think it's,
like, like, I don't know how just disturbing.
Yeah,
it is.
and it's very coordinated too, because this all happened at exactly the same time. All of these university encampments, protests, whatever. It seems like it was a coordinated thing to me, because it all happened at exactly the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we've said this months ago. I don't know if it was on the show or just off, but like, this has nothing to do with the war anymore. This is like literally just hating on Jewish people and like trying to, I don't know. Well, like, what's the end game? Like, it's not,
I don't know.
It's not about the war anymore.
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know, because I mean, we'll
praising terrorists, like calling U of T little Gaza. Like, I mean, I don't, what do you want? You want all these universities to cut any ties with Israel, and I'm guessing Israeli people. So AKA no Jews allowed at these universities. Like how insane is that? We live in the West where we're very diverse, and we've always been proud of that and celebrating different cultures. But let's just completely ban one culture from ever being able to go to university. Like it's so like mentally deranged. And what do we see from Israeli protests? They don't cover their faces, first of all. They're peaceful. They just want to promote like peace, and they don't stop people from crossing the street or going into campus or anything. Like it's just, you can see the two very different sides. Like, if these pro-Palestinian protesters don't think they're doing anything wrong, why are they hiding their faces? Like, to me, that's complete opposite of your message.
Yeah, it's crazy. Right, let's move on. Let's play this clip from the protests, because this kind of tells you all you need to know for me. So let's move on. Let's bring up the clip. Okay. I think it's the next tab. Yeah, so I posted this a couple of days ago. Yeah, it's got a lot of views, a lot of retweets and shit. So let's play it. So
are we gonna read it?
I'll read it first. Yeah. So Jewish professors blocked from going on Toronto University campus by a bunch of racist thugs who wouldn't look out of place in 1930s Germany. This incident alone should be enough to have this whole thing shut down, yet the security who stood right there don't do a damn thing. This was one of the most shocking things that I've seen for a very long time. Yeah. And it kind of highlights everything what's wrong with these protests for me, that this goes far beyond what's peaceful, right? This isn't a peaceful protest. This is clear racism, clear intimidation, and just threatening behavior to two people who are literally just trying to get to work. Yeah. They work at this campus. Right. Let's make it bigger and play it.
This is private property. What can you step back? Move away. Move away. Move away. Move away. Don't tell me to back up. Don't tell me to back up. I'm a professor. I don't care. I'm not causing any problem.
You're on indigenous property, and we give them permission to be
We're on
here,
what?
so.
On indigenous
property. Everywhere you go is indigenous land.
Okay, so you're on it. So just a second. You're on it too.
And you have not.
Get out of the way. Are you touching me?
You just touched me.
I did.
You just touched me.
I touched you. Okay. Now move away. Move away. I'm not. Exactly. Don't engage. We're not with your time. I walk here every day.
You're not worth my time.
Right. Okay. So you're on indigenous land. Good. So what are you doing here? What are you doing here? I want to walk on university problem with your university land.
You don't know my background.
Public land. What are you going to?
I'm indigenous. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
Lake in the Woods First Nation.
I
bitch. Yes.
Make it up as you go along.
No, I don't.
Oh yeah, right.
Well, that's your country.
They're the people guarding this? Are you kidding me? I've walked across this thing for 4 years. The university has handed over their property to these guys, who I have no idea who they are. I don't even know if they're students, right? And they're in charge. They're in charge of letting people in, letting people out. Exactly. So let us in. Don't give them out, right? If you'd like to engage in a debate, we can do that in a classroom. We'll see who wins. But in any event, we'll see who has some knowledge of history besides TikTok, which I'm sure many of you get your information from.
You have all fake information.
Oh, sure, it's fake. Of course, that's
your country.
That's the response. My country? What's my country?
Israel, apparently.
My country is Israel. Okay.
Yeah, well, what about this?
I was born and raised in Canada, right?
In Canada as much as you're questioning Israel.
Okay. Anyways, move out of the way.
There we go.
Like, how disgusting is that?
I know.
Like, I can't, like, I've seen this clip so many times now, and every time I watch it, I just get really angry.
Me
because,
too.
like, how have we allowed this to happen after this is literally what the Nazis used to do to Jewish people?
Yeah. And I mean, I think we cut it off here.
It's the same thing. It's exactly the same shit as what happened in 1938. It's the same shit. But yet, the security who were there can't shut this down. They can't shut this down. And this man, right, is just trying to get into university to go to work or do whatever he needs to do. We're in a free country. This is Canada, right? And you've got these morons, right, who think they're above the law, who think that they're special, and they can just put up these barriers. And by the way, this is another telling sign to me that all of these are funded and organized, because where did they get all this stuff from? Where did they get all of these fences from?
Well, apparently they were to keep them out, but instead they took over.
Yeah, but to me, it's just like,
so get them out of there.
But it's like the resources they have, the organization.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this wasn't. It's all very organized, you know, and you know, this stuff takes a lot of planning to put together. It really does. It's not just like, oh, we're going to start a protest today. This stuff takes a long time to kind of plan out, you know?
Yeah. And how are they communicating between all these campuses, like across all of the West, or like even in Europe? Like, they're all like coordinating with each other, and like they have the same message, which is to cut all, like, they're demanding that these universities are cutting ties with Israel. And like, they're demanding all the same kinds of like they want like food and water, and then they're like, do you want us to die of starvation? It's like, no, why don't you go home, and get your water and your food? Like, no one's gonna support that. Like, I don't, it's just so funny the way they're like, do you want us to die of starvation or dehydration? It's like, where do you think you are right now? Like, you're in Canada. You either live on campus if you're a student, or live off campus, or live at home. Like, I mean, you have other means to get food and water and a toilet. Like, it's like, it's just so funny, because it's like, you have no idea what it's actually like to live in the war, like in actual war. Like, you're in a different country, and your message is not being put across very well. And they're literally gatekeeping these campuses. Like, this is the point of entry where they get to decide if you can cross or not. Like, who's okay and not okay? Only if you have these scarves. Like, that's the only thing. Oh, if you have it, then you're totally fine, and if not, then you're gone.
Those
like,
scarves are the new masks.
Yeah,
that's how I see it. Those scarves are like the new masks.
And to me, it's just weak. Like, to hide your face. You say that you're protesting and you're on the right side of history. Well, then why would you need to cover your face? Why?
Because,
like, shouldn't you be proud of it? Because
all they're doing, I mean, you've heard this bunch of clowns here, like, they're just blatantly just being racist to this man. So of course they're going to cover their faces, because they're just pathetic and weak to me. Like, they're just, you know, and this isn't all of these kids, of course, because you know, there's some of these kids are clearly just there because they just want to be part of something, and they don't really know what the hell they're talking about. But there is a group of people who are part of these protests, mainly the ones who aren't in the colleges. For me, it's people who kind of are a bit older and know a bit better, who are involved with this, who shouldn't be involved with it, and they shouldn't be carrying this on, because this is a free country here, okay? And we're supposed to be accepting of all religions, all backgrounds, which of course we are. So when we see things like this, it goes against the values of this country. And to me, it's just very shocking how this incident is going on, and you've got campus security or police, or, you know, and they can't they're too afraid to confront these people. They're too afraid to shut this down. They're a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
And these people are supposed to be security and maintaining the balance and making sure that everybody can be a part of the campus. But clearly, only one group is allowed to be part of this campus.
Yeah. Which is just insane.
So it's just blatant racism.
Yeah.
Full stop. And, you know, I'm not saying that all of the people at these protests are racist. Of course I'm not. But but trust me, there's a group of people.
Majority.
There's a group of people who are clearly there because they hate Jewish people. Clear as day. And we've called this out now for months. I mean, when this war kicked off in October of last year, you know, we said this, you know, that this isn't about the war. The war is kind of like a sideshow to actually what is going on here. It really is. Because look, you've got millions. I think there's like 1 million Muslims now who are slaves in China at the minute. And it's been going on for years. Where are the protests against Chinese people from all these people? Nothing.
Yeah. Where's like protests to say like to let our people free and stuff like that?
Like where's all those protests from the Palestinian people, from the Muslim people? Like you don't see any of it because it's clearly not about that. It's specifically about Jewish people. And to me, it's as clear as day that that's what this is all about.
Yeah.
And it's a problem. I mean, anti-Semitism has been a problem for a long time. And it's like every few years it kind of comes out of the woodwork again. And it's just been crazy to see the amount of just racism. Clear
just
as
like
day.
hate.
Just hate.
And even if those people are like, some of them are ignorant and don't really know what they're saying, it's like, then if you're going to protest and commit to it, you should read up on it as well to at least understand what you're protesting about and then decide if you want to or not. But it's like, it's crazy how little research and how little education like these people have.
Look, and of course people don't want to see like innocent kids and women and children being blown up. Of course, like nobody wants to see that.
No.
Like that goes without saying, you know. But this stuff isn't like how is this behavior by blocking two people who have nothing to do with the war, right? They've got nothing to do with it. How is this helpful to their cause? To me, it just turns you off the cause. You know, you don't have sympathy for the cause when you treat people this way. If you're so concerned about like the way women and children are being blown to bits, you know, then you should be practicing kindness and moving forward in a positive way to bring people together. But all this does is separate people. I mean, they're literally like separating the whole religion and race from this campus.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. So how can anyone not say that that's racist?
It is.
Because it
is. And I mean, I think we cut off that video, but that woman covering her face was also about to say, or in the middle of saying, how like Canada doesn't even exist.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like,
let's play the
Canada
rest of it.
does, by the way.
Well, let's just play the rest of it. There's only a couple of minutes left.
But also good to see you, Cloudy.
Good to see you, Cloudy.
By the way.
So let's read this comment. 32,000 dead civilians and half of them kids in 6 months for 2 years of war, for example, in Ukraine is 10. Yeah, I mean, nobody likes all this shit, mate.
But also, there's no protests about Ukraine and Russian war.
Here's the thing. Everybody agrees with everything you've just said, mate. You know, nobody wants to see these kids being blown up. Nobody wants to see wars full stop. This is the whole fucking point, right? But the point is, wars happen, okay, and people die, and it's shit. It's shit. You know, there's been if you go back through every war throughout history, you'll get thousands upon thousands of civilian people who have died in them. It's just the way it is
for no reason.
And this is why we hate war, because this is just what happens in war, you know. But this, you know, doing these protests, behaving this way, treating people this way because they're from a certain background or a certain religion is just completely unacceptable.
Yeah,
this is Canada. This isn't Gaza. This is Canada, right? And in Canada, we have freedoms, we have respect, we have different cultures, right? This goes against everything what's good about this country, you know?
Yeah, and people should be like thankful that we live in this kind of society versus what's going on. Like it's like people just take everything for granted and they can't be thankful for, I don't know, like what they have right now and like their surroundings right now. Like I just think I don't know, it's just a weird mindset that some of these people are in. And it is like it's really disappointing. It's embarrassing. Like I feel ashamed when I'm seeing all of this. Like I don't want anybody to feel this way. And yet, you know, time and time again we've seen countless videos of the same kind of thing. Like what at Christmas, remember those two old people trying to skate on the ice?
Being harassed,
and they were like basically calling them like murderers or
they were calling these
terrorists. No, they were calling them terrorists. And it's like these two old people just trying to skate on the ice. Like it's like so out of touch with reality.
It really is.
And they were, and that like old woman was like, we're actually pro-Palestinian, but they like ignored completely what she was trying to say.
Yeah.
And it's like, because dude, like she's trying to support you guys.
Because they saw
all they wanted to do was skate.
Because they saw two old white people skate.
Yeah.
You know, but because they're white, they're not in support of your cause. I mean, again, it's just racism, you know. And I it's just crazy to me how we're still at this point in society where we've got blatant bullshit.
Yeah,
it's just bullshit. Like it really is. And I just feel so bad for like these people who have done nothing wrong. They've done nothing wrong. They've had zero to do with this war, you know. And then we had the Eurovision, which I don't care about. It's Eurovision, but you know, I saw all the protests over the weekend because they had a 20-year-old Israeli singer that, you know, there was thousands of people who were protesting and giving her loads of crap because she's Jewish. And then there was all these calls to, you know, for Eurovision to boycott Israel.
Yeah, and then we saw that woman like ripping up her ballot or something because she didn't want to vote for her. It's just like, this is about like a singing competition. Like it's crazy like what is going on and how it's okay as long as it's towards
like that girl
Israel.
Has literally nothing to do with the war either. You know,
some like 20-year-old singer, like she's barely an adult. Like it's
you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of it reminds me of 9/11 when 9/11 happened and there was, you know, a terrorist attack, of course, and then not millions, but there was a lot of like Muslim people who were being targeted.
Oh yeah,
they were being targeted because of something, you know, what happened. But these people, they didn't have anything to do with the terrorist attack. They didn't have anything to do with the two towers being brought down.
Yeah, because then it was like any Muslim going on a plane, you'd had to search them, but it's like not.
And I felt exactly the same then. Yeah, I was a kid, I was like a teenager, but I felt exactly the same then. That why is this race of people being demonized because of something what, you know, two people did, or you know, or I don't know how many
people.
Yeah, you know, and this is exactly the same. This is exactly the same. That, you know, these people are being penalized and, you know, abused because of stuff what's going on the other side of the world.
Yeah,
it's got nothing to do with them.
Yeah,
you know. Anyway, let's play the rest of this.
Move.
Listen to the hate.
Move out of the way.
To the hate.
What is going on here?
White people, it's not hate. It is hate. It's lies and it's hate. Record me all you want. I don't care. White people talk.
And you're letting them?
Oh, there you go. That's charming. You just Hi. Hello. Onion. Wabanon Kino Tabs at Edishnikas.
Canada's so bad.
Like,
honestly.
What's going on here? I mean, I don't really understand it. If you guys can explain to me, you're supposed to be here.
I'm just here to make sure it's peaceful.
Right.
And that's it.
Anyways,
What about that is
it,
peaceful?
Daniel.
Oh, that's it. What about that is peaceful? Like professors trying to get to work, not able to. She's called them retards. She called him a bitch earlier in the video. Like, I mean, it's like, what are you doing? And Canada apparently doesn't exist. Okay, great. So what are you doing here? Like, I don't get it. Like, you don't want Canada to exist. You want to get rid of Canada altogether. Like, why? What's the point of being here? Like, if you hate where you live.
It's all about, look, we've said this before on the show, but how many Western nations now, okay, this country, America, Britain, all of, like, you're not allowed to be proud of your country anymore.
No.
You're not allowed. And I thought that's what I wanted to say about the show we went to, the Rebel News Live. The first thing they did was get everyone to stand up and do the national anthem.
Yeah, which I haven't done since like high school.
Which I didn't know any of the words. I know some of it, but I did try my best to sing along. But that's the kind of stuff we need to be doing. Mm-hmm. We need to be proud of where we've come, of the country, and try and stand up for what this country is all about. You know, we're supposed to be a free country, and this sort of thing where you've got people who are Canadian, right? That man is literally, you know, he said he was born here, he was raised here. He is a Canadian, and he's not allowed to go to work because of his religion.
Yeah.
How
insane.
That's what it comes down to. In a country like this, in 2024, this is what we've come to. Mm-hmm. You know? Yeah. That's completely allowed, but God forbid you misgender someone and say, you know, that woman doesn't have a dick.
Yeah.
You know, that's completely unacceptable, apparently, according to Blackface Trudeau. But this, completely allowed, you know?
Yeah. Like, it's
mental.
It is. April says, hey, if you don't like it in Canada, don't like Ire, feel free to go back.
Don't like it here, I think.
Oh, don't like it here. Oh, my bad. Are we sure they're professors? Yeah, because there's a longer clip where they spoke to one of the reporters.
Yeah, this is just a clip. I clipped this up from like a 12-minute video what Rebel News did.
Yeah, they talked to the professors.
Yeah, they talked to them for a lot longer on like the video.
But I mean,
definitely worth
even
it.
if they weren't professors and they were just people who wanted to, these are public campuses.
Yeah,
that should not have gatekeepers looking like this. Like, I wouldn't feel safe walking towards that.
If that was me, I would barge through. I would barge through and say, "You can't stop me from going. Who the hell are you to stop me from going to work?
Like,
who the fuck are you?
Do you all of a sudden own this property? Let's see your deed." Like, I mean, like, this is not property that they own. Like, it's so ridiculous. Like, I don't even understand how they're allowed to be there. Apparently they were told to vacate like 5 days before this video was done, and they didn't. But it's like, bring in the police, arrest everybody. Like, I don't understand. What are you afraid of?
Well, that's what they did in Calgary.
Arresting. Yeah, I saw that.
I think I've actually got a little clip to
you
play
shared
next.
that.
Let's bring it up.
Like, arrest every single person that is doing this. Like, I wouldn't care whatsoever.
This is it, right? Yeah. Let's make the screen bigger.
University of Calgary, yeah.
Yeah, we'll play some of this. It's like 20 minutes long, so we'll just play some of it. But
yeah,
you know, police are starting to get control of this situation now because they can see that it's got completely out of hand now. So it's good to see that they're beginning to kind of shut all this stuff down. Mm-hmm. So let's play it.
If everyone's been informed that these viewers are trespassing tonight, so you got 5 minutes.
Please, over there.
there, guys. You get the idea, but we'll link all of this in for sure. We're not going to watch all of that, but we'll link all of this in for you.
Yeah.
I'm a bit late. Where have J and A been? Can you fill me in, Linz? We just take a break, mate. We took a break for a while. We had some stuff changing in the background, my shift at work and stuff. So it's been difficult to do shows at the minute. We've had a lot going on, but yeah, we're going to try and figure out a new schedule and do shows.
Yeah.
Do you have freedom of peaceful assembly in Canada? Good question. Do we? I'm not Canadian.
I don't know. I don't know anything anymore. You know, Canada looks so different now with everything going on. Like, didn't think that we would see what we're seeing now. Like, we are such a diverse country. Like, we support legal immigration. We've got, you know, every single kind of walk of life that you can imagine. Like, it's just always been like the best place to live. And like now it's like you see this and it's like, well, what else is going to happen? Like, you're just almost waiting for the next thing to hit the fan. Like, it's strange. Like, I don't recognize some of these parts anymore. I don't know.
I think a lot of it has to do with social media.
I do too.
I really do, because all of this stuff we wouldn't have seen growing up, you know, and all of these morons who are at the protests wouldn't have access to toxic things like TikTok, which are just manipulating all these young people into believing bollocks effectively. And they don't know history. And that's what I was saying before, that, you know, like a lot of these kids, they're just ignorant. And just like any other protest movement, I mean, we've seen it with BLM, the trans shit, and now this.
Yeah.
You know, all of these people just want to be part of a movement. Oh, and I forgot about the climate change crap as well.
Yeah.
You know, all of these people just want to be part of this. They just want to be part of a group at the end of the day. And this is just the latest in a long line of crap, which these people will grift towards, as we've seen with Greta Thunberg, because, you know, she's apparently a climate clown, right? But the last few weeks, we've seen her repeatedly at these protests, and yesterday she was arrested. So let's play some of this.
Sure. Lindsay actually brought up this part, which was good.
The freedom of peaceful assembly and the freedom of association among the fundamental freedoms guaranteed by the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms under Section 2. Yeah, so we do have that here.
Technically, we do.
Yeah.
And
whether it's being followed or not is another question.
Yeah. What is this one?
The diff with the Vietnam War is it was our troops, the draft, the protest made sense. Now I agree. Josh, social media. Yeah. This is, and that's a great point. I think it was Kepser who was saying to try and compare these protests to the Vietnam War protests.
Yeah.
Those were this is what I'm saying. Like, these people in Canada have nothing to, they don't even know. Look, I can guarantee you this. If you brought a world map to these protests and asked 20 people, can you point to Gaza on this map? Maybe 5 would say they could. And that's what I'm saying. A lot of these people don't have a clue where Gaza even is. And they don't know anything about the history. True. They're not even from that. Look, why are they getting so worked up about things what are on the other side of the world to me? Like, they should be focusing on their studies, focusing on
making their life better here.
But yeah, it's just a crusade. This is what I'm saying. It's just a crusade for these people. It really is. It's just the latest in a long line of stuff which they just want to protest against and want to be rebellious, which is what young people do. You know?
It's true.
That's it. And, you know, and this stuff will die down in like a few weeks, I hope. You know, and when it does, there'll be something else. There'll be something else what comes along, which they'll all be a part of again, and they'll all be protesting again. It's just how it goes, guys. You know, we've all seen all this before. You know,
it's true. It's true.
Yeah,
it's just the flavor of the.
But yeah, I just hope it does stop, because, you know, I'm all up for protesting, and I'm all up for people trying to express their right to freedom of speech. I completely agree with that. You know, we're big freedom of speech advocates here. But when you cross that line into stopping other people's basic rights,
Mm-hmm.
then you've got a problem.
Yeah.
Then you kind of lose your support for me, because, you know, these protests could have been handled a lot better and they could have been kept under control by whoever's organizing them.
For sure.
But they've allowed this stuff to just get completely out of hand now. And it's not good to see, because I don't want to see anyone being like discriminated against. And this is what we're seeing now. We're just seeing groups of people from one particular religion being discriminated against when they've got nothing to do with the war. What, you know, they've got nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
So to me, it's just blatantly racist, you know, and it's sad to see. But anyway, let's move on. So if you go on to this one, yeah.
Oops. What?
That one.
Oh, yeah, that's touchscreen.
Yeah, so Greta Thunberg was arrested yesterday. So she was part of these protests against the Eurovision Song Contest and this
Of course she was.
Israeli singer. She was part of all this. So yeah, just grifting. I think we've
Is there a clip? This
yeah,
is a clip.
Yeah, there's a clip and there's a photograph there.
J'aime pas Greta! J'aime pas Greta! J'aime pas Greta! Oink, oink, piggy, 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 we're gonna make your life. Yeah, j'aime pas Greta! J'aime pas Greta!
Yeah, so that's the video.
Am I on the right? Oh.
And there she is. Grifty Greta.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Love it.
To me, that was all staged as well. How she
Yeah.
was there and then she got arrested. Like, it's clear as day that was all staged or whatever, or planned. You know.
Mm-hmm. But still, love to see it.
Grifty Greta.
Yeah, good to see you, Jay.
Good to see you, Jay.
And thank you.
Yeah, we went for some ice cream earlier with the girls. It was nice, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looked like it was gonna rain, but it did not.
Yeah.
It did not. So
But anyway, we're
good
coming
call.
up to the hour, so let's move on to the last thing, which I thought we've got to talk about. J.K. Rowling is in the news again for stating a fact again. So J.K. Rowling is accused of cruelty as she mocks transgender football manager by comparing her to a straight white middle-aged bloke, because that's what he is.
Oh my god! Newsflash. What was her original tweet? We should try to get the original. Hers.
Well, let's go into her profile.
I think I retweeted it, but all right. So it was pretty funny, pretty spot on.
No, that's the one I've
Yeah.
shared.
Oh wait, I might have gone too far.
Well,
but it no longer it belongs to an account that no longer exists. Shocking.
okay.
So she was like, when I was young, all the football managers were straight, white, middle-aged blokes. So it's fantastic to see how much things have changed. And they've changed to this. One's with wigs.
I mean, what's your thoughts on this?
I think it's mental. Like, I mean, I'm sorry. We're supposed to believe that this is a woman. Like, stop insulting our intelligence. Stop insulting women, because this is not one of us. And it's like, also, she's allowed to say what she wants.
But let's read what
Like,
she's
it's
actually
just
said
like-
again. Let's read what she's actually said again. JK, like, let's click into this.
But this is what she said. This is
Okay.
all she said.
When I was young, all the football managers were straight, white, middle-aged blokes. So it's fantastic to see how much things have changed. And then go on to that again.
And it was just mocking, because the only difference is that now he's wearing a wig.
But she's been accused of cruelty. How is that cruel?
It's not cruelty.
To state
It's reality.
a fact.
It's reality.
Right? It's reality, guys.
Yeah.
You know?
So it's like, cry all you guys want. Like, this is a man. Okay. The only difference is he's wearing a wig. Like, that's it. Like, this is not a woman. Okay. Never will be. Like, to me,
Let's
it's
read the
just...
comments. Let's read the comments.
All right.
How can you tell? Psychic powers, that and the fact that he fathered 3 kids with his wife.
Oh my God.
Who?
Imagine that's your dad.
How can you look at her and see a man? I think you need glasses. Wink. My rose-tinted gender goggles keep malfunctioning, and unfortunately, when I looked at this sturdy father of 3, the lenses shattered. Again, guys. I mean, how did we get here in society?
Yeah.
You know, I don't understand it.
They just don't like someone speaking the truth, especially a woman saying this. How dare you? Yeah, because it's literally like we're calling it like it is, and women are not going to be insulted anymore. Like, this is not like a trans woman is not a woman. Okay, it's a man. At the end of the day, you will never, ever, ever be a biological female. Like, it's just not possible.
Never happen.
Okay, you can dress how you want, you can speak how you want, you can do whatever you want, but at the end of the day, you will always 100% be a man.
I think that was a great point from the show, from April's talk she did.
Yeah.
When she was talking about what happened with her and Anne.
Mm-hmm.
And she was saying how she got called into her HR department at work because some people made them aware of her tweets and thoughts about all of this kind of like, you know, let's keep female sports female, etc. And her HR department completely agreed with everything she said.
Mm-hmm.
So this tells you to me that these people, when they try and cancel you because you're stating a fact, they don't have any legs to stand on, because when it comes down to it, when it comes down to like court cases, you know, meetings with HR departments, you know, all of these, official workplace settings or official legal things.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes down to it, a fact is a fact. So it doesn't really matter if someone calls you transphobic to me, because who cares? You're literally just saying the truth.
Yeah.
You know, and
it's a fact.
And it's not cruel. It's just not cruel. And I don't get the argument. To me, I don't get the argument how you can say that a bloke in a wig is a bloke in a wig and it's deemed as cruel.
Yeah.
When that's a woman trying to defend women's rights at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know?
Somebody's got to.
I don't get it. But anyway, let's leave it there, guys. We're coming up to the hour.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, thanks so much for tuning in tonight. Really appreciate you all being here. We're very rusty. We haven't done a show for a couple of months. So thanks for your patience today.
Yeah, appreciate it.
And we will be back. We just need to figure out a schedule. Like we were saying, we've had some things change with our work schedules in the background. So we're trying to figure out a good time and day to do a show. So we'll keep you posted.
Sure.
Best thing to do, I think, is turn the notifications on for when we go live.
Definitely. And on X as well.
Yeah.
That's probably our most active social media.
Yeah.
I handle the Instagram and I'm shit at it. So basically a story here and there. That's about it. But yeah, just follow us on X and on YouTube and turn on notifications. And yeah, we'll let you know once we figure out an actual schedule. But yeah, I don't think it'll be every single day because we've got too much going on, but probably a few days a week.
Absolutely.
For sure. Like it'll definitely be weekly. It's we're going to figure it out.
We also spoke to some people at this event, and we'll be getting some guests back on the show. April will come back on, of course, at some point.
We got the Menzoid saying he'd come on.
David
anytime.
Menzies will be back on the show as well. So we're looking forward to arranging those for you guys.
Sure.
Thanks so much for tuning in. Hope
we had a lot of people joining us today, which is always good to see. Good thing, or good to see that we haven't totally dropped off of people's minds. So make sure to like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. But yeah, we appreciate everybody, and we will see you in the next show.
See you in the next show. Take it easy. Have a great day, and take care of yourselves.
Yeah, and happy Mother's Day to all the mamas out there, the real ones, not the ones, with dicks. So anyway, have a good night, everybody.
Take it easy.